Florida State. So currently, some big pop out there is sitting with the chance for an $1,800 ticket to win close to $200,000. Got him back in November, going out at 100-1. Florida State, there's a good chance they're going to get a number one seed. It really depends the ACC tournament. I mean, I think at this point we need to understand the Big Ten and the ACC are still the strongest. They have their ups and downs, but Virginia silently. Tony Bennett, can we just give this guy Coach of the Year every time? He's working with, pretty much got rid of the entire team. Kyle Guy, that guy. And what you had out there with your number one player in DeAndre Hunter, the guy that made all the things happen in Ty Jerome. Like, there are three staples of them winning the national title last year. And they're like 23-7 again. Going to get like a 3 seed. They got nobodies. Working with these big, tall guys you'd see in like an Indiana State basketball game before Larry Bird was there. Good for them. Getting it done. Big Papa style. Hey, joining us as always, doing a good job covering the events this week, or you could just say enjoying the events, as our good friend JP joins us. You can hear him each and every day on Talk Football with Coach K inside the XFL edition today. Hey, look, there's a trend going right now, JP. So far, the coaches that have joined us on air, because I do make a cameo for that show, but the coaches that have joined us on air on Fridays, Winston Moss, just a strictly football guy that might have dropped in a letter or two. That's a football guy. And then the other one in Jerry Glanville, guy that this week was asked, what are you going to do on defense? And he looked back at him wearing shades, sort of Weekend at Bernie style on the side, and he goes, well, I don't know. What are you going to do? The guy's like, this is live TV. Cole Kublick, who actually was on our old station on ESPN Pensacola, did an Auburn show. Great guy, and he's worked his way up. Cole's a hard worker, former center for the Auburn Tigers, but he's like, what are you going to do? He's like, what are you going to do? Like, this is serious here. This isn't like kids sitting around. But 2-0 sweep going on right now. Brought Glanville in, 25-0 shutout. Then Winston Moss joins us. Both teams were not doing good, and so far we're off to a 2-0 start with guests. So just want to add that part there. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
You can take credit for that, yeah.
So, XFL, I'm 2-0. That's great. Even though my Facebook-picked Seattle Dragons are now 1-4.
That's
out there doing their thing. By the way, just want to throw this out there. The XFL, if you didn't know, watching the Seattle-Houston game, there was 2 seconds left. P.J. Walker takes a knee. Well, if it's on fourth down, that should be a turnover. Correct, Chad? Am I right on that? 2 seconds left, fourth down, you take a knee. It turns the ball over. Okay, well, the XFL decides, nope. The referee goes, it's ball game. Clock runs out. Guys are like, wait a minute. Even Steve Levy's on there like, there should be 2 seconds left. And let's remember this. It was 32-23 was the score. 9 points is actually a one-possession game, as crazy as that sounds, in the XFL due to the 3-point play there. Well, the XFL, people, they're being praised for coming out early and saying, hey, look, we made a mistake. We reassigned the ref. It's all going to be okay. Sorry you didn't get your chance, Seattle, but it's going to be okay. I call a certain word on that. That's Coach K even said today, listen, I've been on the other end of that call. What are you going to do? Like, don't call me. Don't tell me that. You told me you screwed up and cost me, a team a game, cost them a possible win right there. I just want to throw that out there. For all the people that are like, see, the NFL should do this. Do what? Continue to mess up? Like, they messed up. They made a mistake.
See, I disagree. I think, look, the call was a call that isn't that big of a deal. In the long-term thing, look, there are games that are ruined, like Saints fans forever. There's going to be, we got friends, my wife, 35, we're all sitting around out there on our rockers. I always picture, like, Adirondack chairs looking at the waves, the seagulls going by, naming sandpipers, and we're sitting there at, like, 80, and one day you're going to be like, remember the Saints. That's my old guy voice. Remember the Saints and that horrific call right there that just ruined. They never got back, and they never. Now someone's like, now you're just being rude. They never won anything after that. But that moment right there, they had a shot. They could have been somebody, and they took it away from them. They ruined that game. Bill Vinovic and his crew ruined it forever. Then he was the Pro Bowl ref the next year. But I will say, he did the Super Bowl too. The difference, though, is
seems to be a theme.
This was a call, though, that even if they would have given the ball back, they're going to have to score on one play with 1 second left and get the 3-point. I mean, they had a shot, but it's like saying,
there's
okay,
though.
it's like going to the clock. I'm watching all these March Madness games. What a great time Wofford's back in the mix doing what they do best, making big shots.
All right, I'm out.
What do you mean? Listen, don't make me get Ray Palmer on the phone. That's his team right there. But, you got your usual underdog stories that are going for a run. Tonight you got two of them, BYU and St. Mary's, battling it out.
It's your team, BYU.
Somebody's going to be confused watching that game. Being I'm not going to get into that.
Nope.
But I will say, though, that one, it sets a record for Australians on one court, though. They will set that tonight. St. Mary's does that alone. But you look at those games, it's always exciting. But you'll watch, they'll go to the monitor, and those like it's .2 on the clock, and they don't actually review it, and they're like, all right, let's everybody go. Could he make that big shot? Yeah. But I like what they did. The XFL, we live in a society today that is all about forgiveness. Andy Pettit did exactly what Roger, what Mark McGuire, Big Mac, what Barry Bonds, what they all did. And I listen to your sports break. Barry's like, get me out of here. I don't want to be here if you think I'm this joke that has all your records. There's no asterisks next to his records. Look, we're not singing Kumbaya with Barry.
By the way. You listen.
I did. Well, no, not that part. I knew that. But I will say Barry Bonzo, regardless of all that, he has 7 MVPs. Closest to him, 3. It's more than double, kids.
What?
Yeah, that's right. It is more.
Somebody is on their
Look
game.
at that. Look at big time math right there. It's like week 0 in the NFL. They should throw that into a Jeopardy question with like the brainiacs in there. Be like, how do you consider week 0 of college football when Florida meets Miami? Like just everybody's buzzard. Like what?
Bam.
The answer. Does anybody have it? I don't know what to do here. Like my hands, Ricky Bobby. So the XFL though, Andy Pettit did exactly what the others did. But immediately, he was like the first one in line, like the line leader in high school. No, what high school did I go to? But
I was about
in
to say,
elementary,
wait a minute.
you're still doing line leaders. Yeah,
You're probably not in a good high school.
Here's
if you
a
have a line
cookie,
leader.
Chad, or a very special school. Here you go, Chad. Here's a line leader. Yay! Be like, this kid does know that he's at an asylum, right? But okay, so the XFL though did exactly what Andy Pettit did. He immediately came out and was like, yeah, look, I'm 42, getting old, recovery, shoulder problems. Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry. And everyone's like, we love you, Andy. Yo, one of the best postseason pitchers, Boney, Paul O'Neill. We love you, man. Yeah, Yanks, go Yanks. And then the next thing you know,
who are those people?
The Yos, the ones that yell Uber at Randy Dominick and his family.
Is that your family?
No, I'm not part of
Your
that.
Boston
Do
people?
not do that. Do not. That's like calling people from South Africa Australians and people from Australia English people. In movies, like he must be from England. Be like, he's from South Africa. That's rude right there. So that know exactly where I'm going at. That's extremely rude to do right there.
Fair enough.
Okay, fair enough. Mel Gibson from right there in the hearts of London, Big Ben. So you think about it, and these guys immediately they came out and they just answered to the call. They're like, yeah, I did it, and we loved them. But they did exactly what the other guy did. They just were like, yeah, they fessed up. We live in a society like that. Josh Hamilton had his birthday suit on in the middle of an alley on crack and heroin, and we're all like, we love you, man. He came back as an MVP because he's like, it was a forgive and forget story. Like, we love a good intervention. We love a good story that everybody comes back and claps and applauds. The thing is, the XFL made a mistake. It wasn't the end of the world mistake. If it would have cost the team, if the guy would have caught the ball in the end zone and they would have reviewed it and they're like, no catch. But it was clearly a catch. No catch. It would have been different. It didn't really. Here's what they said. The XFL stated Saturday's Seattle Dragons and Houston Roughnecks game should not have ended as it did. Replay showed clearly that the knee of the Houston quarterback, P.J. Walker, touched the field, rendering him down. And the 4th down play officially completed. With approximately 2 seconds remaining in the clock, effectively turning the ball over to the Seattle on downs. With a 9-point differential in score, Seattle was denied an opportunity to tie the game. The XFL sincerely regrets this error. In addition, Wes Booker, who served, this is the best part of it, though. This is the coup de grace right here. In addition, Wes Booker, who served as officiating supervisor for Saturday's game, has been reassigned. I love it, too. They don't say, he's gone. He has been reassigned. Yeah, he's gone. He's
This is my only argument.
I like it. Wouldn't you love to? You're a baseball guy. Wouldn't you love to see this with Angel Hernandez? Wouldn't you love to see this with Angel Hernandez?
I want them to say he was fired.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we watched Angel as we all suffered through his strike zone today. We just let him go.
But here's the difference to me. I like the way they came out as fast as they did, but they knew this on the field. That was the thing. They knew this while the players were still starting to leave the field. It wasn't like this was 30 minutes after the game they reviewed it and said, oh gosh, oh man, we made a mistake there. This happened in real time. They knew it in real time. They saw that. That's the problem I have, is like, you knew this. Don't tell me their excuse was, well, we can't get the players back on the field at this point. Come on, what do you mean? The players are still leaving the field. Like, get the coaches, say, hey, coaches, one more play, let's go. I understand it's a 9-point, they're down by 9 and still a one-possession game, and I understand that, the chances of them scoring are very low. I'm not an idiot to think that, but what I'm saying is it was a mistake. They were still on the field. They were starting to leave the field. This is different than 30 minutes, an hour later, they review the film and go, oh, man, we blew it, guys. They knew then and there you should have done with the right thing to do. Yes, they did what they were supposed to do when you're talking about the guy was reassigned, because in the NFL, we don't ever know with the referee. We don't know what happened to him. Heck, you look at Bill Vinovic's crew, he got to do the Super Bowl.
But that's why they have that Mafia Don guy up there. The guy that ultimately, you're like, who gets the car? Who gets the woman? Who gets in charge of the tobacco? And the guy's like, I'm going to grant it to him. This guy gets this. Here's my blessing. Kiss him on right there. Don't do it today with the coronavirus. If you're out there in the Mafia, don't kiss the hands of the Dons. They don't need that. Palm, just daps. Mafia daps. That's where according to the coronavirus Mafia handbook, it's all fist bumps. There's no more kissing on the fuck. A remake, coronavirus remake of Godfather. Give me daps. Come over and give me daps,
Billy. Billy, give me daps.
Vinny, give me a little daps right here. Give me the Dougie. So you look, though, at the XFL, and I think what we realize, though, is they're trying to make the moves. But that's why you go up to the stairs, up in the booth like they do, and that guy goes, yep, nope, and then they review it, and then they move on. So ultimately, people are going to screw up, and then it's his job. I'll tell you what, though. You used the word a couple times in that sentence about they knew what was going on. The truth is, is the biggest mistake of the XFL right now. If we went back in a time machine and said the XFL rules compared to the NFL, I like the XFL rules better. I like the game. The tempo goes quicker.
Too.
The kickoffs are now exciting. They don't call these, I'm not going to use the word, I was about to throw out the word pansy, but not pansy, but the hits that the guy's tiptoeing out of the sidelines and he goes for a tackle and they call 15 yards. They allow them to play. They allow them to be people. But the only difference is we're doing it with practice squad players. No offense, but most of these guys were on the practice squad in the NFL.
How dare you call Philip Nelson the hand model of practice squad player? He couldn't make a practice squad right now.
Yeah, we were both on that 7.5 point spread. Like, what is this? They're going to lose straight up. They got smoked. That was an awful spread.
30 to 12.
But
Yikes.
How many people, by the way, have had to Google players? Raise your hand. How many people have Google? I did it last night. Jordan Smallwood.
I do it every time I watch.
Jordan Smallwood. Well, you're Mr. Google, the Google hands. But yesterday, I went out there and I was like, Jordan Smallwood. I've seen this guy out there. Google. I'm like, oh, Oklahoma, man. I remember that a couple years ago. But that's what these guys are. Google to see. Nobody has to be like, hey, let's Google Joe Burrow. Let's see. Let me go ahead and Google Jerry Jeudy real quick. Nobody has to, because these guys are going to be stars. That's the difference. Is Taylor Cornelius, Patrick Mahomes makes game-winning throws to win, and Taylor Cornelius throws a pick on a route that the guy didn't even turn around yet to lose a game in the end zone. That's the only thing, is the product itself is not as good. But outside of that, the rules and everything else, I love it. I love how they interact with the people, even if some of these guys aren't the best interviews. But I think overall, it's great how they do it. But I think everybody doesn't know what's happening. That's the thing, is we've been so ingrained for so long to believe football is played one way that, remember, if you take a knee in the NFL, that's the point of it. If you take a knee, then the clock continues to run. Now, if you do it on fourth down, the ball gets turned over regardless.
You get 2 seconds round.
You should anyway. I don't know why you would do that. And if anything, P.J. Walker should lose his man card for MVP for taking a knee when the game was about to be over. But the clock runs on it. Pass. Who would want to run the clock out when the clock runs anyway on an incomplete pass with 2 minutes to go in the game? I'm learning this stuff. Or how even the scoreboard operator didn't know. He was reeling the clock with 3 minutes to go, and the announcers were like, "Well, I don't think the clock should be going." And then, the refs are looking, and I'm Ron Burgundy. And everybody's trying to figure this out together because it's brand new rules that they're not 100% sure what the calls are yet. Because forever we've watched football one way, and now there's just little things here and there that they start to change, and we're supposed to know. And that's something to me that, it's like the clock stops on first downs in XFL, doesn't in the NFL. 1 foot for a catch. How many of you watch a play this week and you're like, oh, that's clearly incomplete? All you have to do is get 1 foot down for a catch. All of these rules we're used to, so we're all figuring out, and even the announcers are doing it too. I'm seeing that left and right. So everybody's trying to play it out together. Even Vegas, they're getting smoked. I mean, Vegas has been way off on their lines, and the thing is, they're usually 1 or 2 points off at the most when it comes to the NFL. They're so spot on. They don't know. DC Defenders 7.5-point favorites. They get beat by 30. That doesn't happen normally. So the difference is we're all figuring this out together. It's like the Impossible Burgers. You can tell me all the time we take the genes and the hormones of all the cells and we put them that tastes like meat, dude. How do you do that? Because I'm used to seeing someone butcher a chicken or a cow, and that's how I get my meat. I watch it. That's where we go on the weekends. Yeah,
you're a sick person.
Family, take the family to the butchery. No, I'm just joking. No, it's that would be a sadistic person. Hey, do you want to go to the mall or the zoo? How about we combine the zoo? And on that note, we're going to go ahead and take a break, but before we do, a reminder, it's time now for your Alabama Crimson Tide update, brought to you by Gordon Auto Wholesale. Right now, as you get your tax returns back for the season, Gordon Auto Wholesale reminds you that you can pay less. No credit, bad credit, don't sweat it. Eddie Gordon, lifelong Alabama fan, and the whole staff down there with over 250 cars on the lot can get you in the car of your dreams. Beautiful cars that you can afford with no down payments. Doesn't matter. You can be in the car of your dreams. Use that to change something for the best. That car you thought you could never afford with Gordon Auto Wholesale. Check them out 2 blocks south of Airport on Old Palafox Street. It is Gordon Auto Wholesale. Your Alabama Crimson Tide update. Well, don't tell Nick Saban or any Alabama fan he'll be retiring anytime soon. Based on that, the president right now, the United States, is 71. And the 2 guys that are going to be running against him, whether it's Biden or Bernie Sanders, are 76 and 78. So they joked around with Nick Saban asking, how many years do you have left? He said, well, if the guys that want to probably go 1 at least, maybe 2 terms, would like to be in this spot right here, then I'm thinking at least a decade based on the terms of presidency. If we had to pick a president of college football, I think old St. Nick might be the guy. All right? And he's sitting there fresh at 67. So the next time you think, how many years left does he have to walk the sidelines and win titles? You might have to say to yourself, well, based on presidency, enjoy the next decade. That's your Alabama Crimson Tide update, brought to you by Gordon Auto Wholesale.
Welcome back to Sports View. Next topic. Is it really all about power? Makes me think of Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Gives you the power to find options based on your budget. Let's go to Chuck for an irrelevant analogy.
Man, back in the day, people didn't ask how many oranges are in the crate. They just took the oranges. They didn't say, are there 6, 7, 12, 15, whatever. It was just oranges. You get me?
We get you, Chuck. In a word, oranges.
Give it to us straight with the Progressive Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Redbox has the newest movies fresh from the theater. Plus, award winners and nominees starting at under $2 a night. Now at the box and on demand. Ford vs. Ferrari. Matt Damon and Christian Bale star in this high-octane thrill ride. Travel back to 1966 and watch Ford challenge Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. Head to one of the 41,000 Redbox locations or stream instantly on demand. Prices may vary by location, subject to applicable taxes. Additional terms at redbox.com.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
JP here. Well, we're at the halfway point in the XFL season, and we have learned that hand models don't seem to be good quarterbacks. Shout out to the Dallas Renegades. The face of the XFL, PJ Walker, and the Houston Roughnecks can't be stopped, starting the season 5-0. And Oliver Luck joining in the DC Defenders Beer Snake. Pretty awesome. From all the top interviews to the recap of the past week's games and the predictions to the week ahead, we got it here on Inside the XFL. Join Coach K, Chad Brillante, and myself every Monday and Friday at 12:30 right after Talk Football with Coach K.
We do sports, and that's all we do. We're your hometown sports station, ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
And welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Simulcast each and every day on Blab TV. Chad Brillante alongside JP, your home for the UWF National Champion Argos. Congratulations, by the way, to Mike Jeffcoat, Coach Jeffcoat. You had a chance to be. I know you always considered yourself. Coach Jeffcoat did not give you this name, but you say your nickname you said was the prize jewel. No,
it was not.
That was not.
No,
was,
absolutely not.
Was that the wrong? Okay.
Nope.
No. I remember you walked onto campus. You said, and you went and said, "Hey guys, welcome to. I'm glad I'm here. I only be called. You can call me Jeff, but my real name's the prize jewel." And then
you know who the prize jewel on that team was, and I don't know. He's probably listening right now. Daniel Vargas Villa. He was the man.
Aaron Whips is a friend of mine, and they just got engaged and married, So. Family friend, and yeah, good guy.
Daniel was off the
That's
chart.
awesome.
Yeah, he was the man for sure. When they won the title the following year, just outstanding. That was the prize jewel.
Yeah, Danny, if you're out there listening, from pitcher to pitcher, and myself and JP, it's glad to hear about a real pitcher.
Yeah,
is that fair?
Absolutely,
yeah,
that's fair.
We hurled it, but mine was more. My career could have been based more on if hypothetically I believe that every team was the Houston Astros stealing my sign. That's what I'd like to believe.
I told
nobody
you.
Was banging
I
on.
brought that up last week.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
The only person banging on garbage cans when I pitched, though, would be our assistant coach saying, "This is where he needs to go. This is where. Why is he on the mound?" I was like, "That's rude, dude." I'm like, "You gonna throw me in the trash?" And the guy's like, "Huh, yeah, that's what they did." Looking at the games though this weekend, how about it? Troy, Louisiana Lafayette, still calling them that. You got Michigan State. What a gem the first day too. Nice win right there, and then also with Sanford. So. Four good teams at the Cox Diamond Invitational. I know you were out there. Beautiful weather. What a beautiful, sweet
gorgeous
golden
weather.
fur, man. It was a beautiful day.
Say golden fur.
Yeah, it's a sweet day.
I think that's a different.
Sweet golden fur. That's what we call them.
That's what. Never mind. All right, fair enough. Moving
Beautiful
on.
day.
Yes.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And then at night, Pensacola Ice Flyers. They had autism awareness game as all the jerseys. You had Big Moose and Brent and folks out there like. Dan Shugart and all the different jerseys going on, so it's pretty cool.
Of course, starting the day off watching Troy and Sanford play, which, I mean, both those teams are so good. Sanford, by the way, I didn't realize that coming into that Saturday they were 10-1. That's I just don't follow Sanford enough to follow these guys. Watch Michigan State, Louisiana Lafayette. Of course, Lafayette had a really good weekend, winning 2 of 3. They won against Michigan State, and they took one away from Troy there. A team that was slumping, as you want to say, with Lafayette. Lafayette has a really good softball team, but for baseball, it was awesome. Ray and those guys did such a good job putting that on. Just a great crowd. I mean, weather was beautiful. Then you talk about going out there to the Ice Flyers, catching it for Autumn. Listen, that was her first hockey game, and she was like, okay. After the first intermission, she goes, I see what the hype's about.
That's right.
This is pretty awesome here. And I told her, I said, well, imagine what this is going to look like when they do the upgrades. Because when you look at the scoreboard and things like that, there's things that need to go. But just to see that and picture that, she was like, this is going to be awesome. And, of course, the Ice Flyers, they won 7-2. It's not too many times you get to see in hockey a team put up 7. And then the little dance they do when they score, you know.
Yeah.
She goes, what is going on? Is everybody okay? And I'm like, that's what they do. She goes, all right. So a few scores later, she got into it. And that's what it's all about, though. Everybody having a great time. The Ice Flyers doing what they do, and Greg and them guys do such a great job with that as well.
It was awesome. I'm glad you guys had a good time, and it was really cool to see a victory. It was really nice.
Victory.
Big win right there. Not a big win there. Well, actually, he wins no matter what. He really does win in life. Tim Tebow, he's not going to be this was going to happen, but he was part of the first cut of waves right there on Friday. But when you're batting 153, that's going to happen. And
when you play for the Mets, yes.
You did get the perfect team though to keep your orange and blue. You know those people that maybe don't have the money to get the logo brands, and they just get the colors, and people are like, oh, yeah. You could clearly see it's like a sticker, not even like a patch that, somebody, if you know a seamstress in your house, it's clearly just like a sticker you put over an orange and blue. With the Mets, perfect team. The Binghamton Rumble Ponies sort of screwed that up a little, but the Mets colors and the Gators, people, all they had to do was take like their Gator shirt and like get a sticker like I did with that clearly Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl championship sticker I had right here on my computer, and just put it right over the shirt. But Tim Tebow is part of the cuts. He just got married to like Miss World, and he's got to do his own move doing it too, Tebowing to one knee. That's pretty cool. But he's not the only guy. I was starting to take a look at the list. I also couldn't sleep last night. And
like every night. Okay,
no, last night was bad. I took a nap. I never take a nap. That's what I know. I really don't. I'm not a nap guy. I think I don't have time, obviously, in the weekdays to take a nap. But yesterday was the first nap. Nobody wants to hear about this right now, but I'm going to tell you. It's the first nap I took in probably like a year and a half.
Nap tracker.
But I took the nap, and I was wide awake the rest of the day. So I stayed up and looked up all these stats. And
is it that face you drew on there?
That face was today, me scribbling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, during your talk. But there's been a number of guys that you didn't know played in. And let's go to the I knew-o-meter. You have to actually tell the truth on this. Jameis Winston drafted. You knew that.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start off easy here. 2015 by the Texas Rangers. Colin Kaepernick. One of I know you ran down the road to get this jersey.
No, I did not know that.
Okay. There you go, right there. That's correct. He did. He could have played for the Cubs in 2009. Cubbies fans are like, why are you going to put that on us? Why are you doing that right now? 43rd round by the Cubs. Bill Fecky, if you're listening.
He's 43rd
Kaepernick's
round.
guy. Bill's
No
like,
wonder
do
he
not
didn't
put
go.
that guy. I could just see Bill is like a strong for America. His campaign was Drain the Swamp, and I just threw Kaepernick at him right there as a Cub. Looking at, how about this one right here? Patrick Mahomes. His dad pitch, yeah, okay, lines. I mean, because they made the joke that the Detroit Tigers now have more Super Bowl championships than the Detroit Lions after he won this year. Felipe Franks with the Red Sox, yeah, you've thrown that on me. Brandon Whedon, by the way, 18 years ago, 2002, 18 years ago, this guy pitched for the New York Yankees, and he actually did in single A. Pitched 48 games with a 5 ERA. Russell Wilson was drafted 3 times. But here's where it starts to get a little juice here that you didn't know. Looking at some of these other names going on here, Michael Vick.
I did not
there
know
we go.
that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This was a late night of I'm going to bring some stuff to the table people did not know. Challenge your mind here. 2000, Michael Vick played for Colorado. And he got drafted. He didn't actually end up playing.
So he never played any. He just got drafted.
He got sent to it was called the Harvard Dog Pound. He did not end up going. He can't.
Ooh.
No, I'm just. But he did. He actually get Colorado Rockies 30th round 2000. Tom Brady.
What?
Blanken Brady right there. That's right. Now north of the border to the Montreal Expos. So can we also claim Tampa as part of the Sacre Bleu that's coming to town here? He was, by the way, too. You want to talk about, for everybody talks about him being weak and all the way he runs, and yes, it's funny to see him run on that
what was
reverse.
He drafted as?
Catcher.
What?
Yeah.
No
yes.
way.
Yes, he was an all-star.
There's no way.
He was an all-American or all-high school American in California catcher.
Yikes.
9 home runs, too. He had some pop to it. 1995 Montreal Expos. That's what I'm saying. Good stuff. Golden Tate. He actually played baseball at Notre Dame and played football, was drafted by the D-backs, and was the best player in the state of Tennessee at baseball.
Wow.
Look at this.
I know that.
Troy Aikman, New York Mets. Dante Culpepper, pitcher for the New York Yankees.
Can you imagine Culpepper on the mound?
Him and
Sabathia.
CeCe coming at you right there. John Elway, we knew about that. Jack Del Rio, the incumbent to Florida State, as many would say, well, one guy would say, drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays right there. Johnny Manziel, San Diego Padres. Bill Parcells, throwing him out there, Philadelphia Phillies.
Wow.
Got a contract back in the day. The Tuna. Dan Marino, Kansas City Royals. Donovan McNabb, off the cusp here, did not. You're like, he played baseball? No, he did not. He played hoops, though, at Syracuse in both. And this is where we get to you might not have known. We know the Bos, the Deons, the Charlie Wards, the MJs, the Brian Jordans that played 2 sports. Now you're going to know these guys. Terry Bradshaw, who you got to see on the runway out there at the airport. Terry, he actually has the national record for the javelin toss.
What?
Yeah, 245 feet. National
He was
record.
probably trying to throw it at somebody.
That's right. Jim Brown, we know he's a Hall of Famer, but he also is a Hall of Famer in lacrosse. And Dwight Freeney, this is the one that about to blow your mind here. He was a 4-sport All-American in high school, and at Syracuse, he went on to play football, but he also was their goalkeeper in soccer. So there you go.
I'm Googling
Look at
that.
this. Look at this.
I want
This
to
is
find a picture of him in goal.
so. Who is the only athlete drafted by NBA, NFL, and MLB? Can we get this? I did know this before. It's like 4:00 in the morning. I did know this, by the way.
Who?
Crickets. Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield?
Dave Winfield back in that. That was a complete, like, I'm just going to go with the punches. All right, man.
No, I'm looking.
Good for Ricky.
I'm looking
Do you
for,
even know who Ricky is? Good for Ricky, man. Good
I'm looking for a picture of Dwight Freeney playing goalie. I just
some knowledge right there. Which one was the biggest shocker? To me, the first one. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I knew a little bit of Tom Brady just because.
Tom Brady is
you know,
the biggest shocker to me as a catcher.
To me was, I mean, just because probably the date on it. But to go back to Dante Culpepper as a pitcher, he went to UCF, and I didn't know that. I did not know that. That me and him, maybe he was on the mound at UCF, and I did not even know it during that time.
Yes, Chad has been kicked out.
He's not going to claim my record.
All right, I got you.
He's not going to claim my INF record. I'll tell you that much.
That was the Alumni Association of UCF. You need to turn in your card.
We need to. I need to share that with him. He wouldn't. He'd be like, I'm not. I'm sure. Why are you in my house? But Dante, me and you now, we're UCF pitcher pals.
Bros.
He's like, I didn't. I skipped that, man. I got drafted. I didn't. I went into star quarterback.
Who are you?
Did you star or did Mackenzie Milton? Pah! No. When we come back, we're going to talk some college football, college hoops with Brent Barrett of Lindy Sports. It's all coming back right here on this Monday edition of the Sports Drive.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
Every player matters, and finding the right person can make all the difference. For Murray State, that was Jean Morant. In his sophomore season, Morant led the Racers to a 28-5 record and a trip to the NCAA tournament. In the first round, Morant had a triple-double in Murray State's upset win over Marquette. He finished the season as the first NCAA player to average at least 20 points and 10 assists per game in a single season.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Bracket busters, Cinderellas, underdogs on top. With the right talent in the right place at the right time, crazy things can happen. And it's no different for your business. LinkedIn will match the right talent with your open roles fast. Post a job and you'll get great candidates with the right mix of skills, interest, and experience. So every hire you make is a win for your business. Go to linkedin.com/sports and get $50 off your first job post. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
Isaac, you missed the winning dunk and cost your team the championship. What are your thoughts?
Well, I switched to Boost Mobile and got a super fast network and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, so even when we lose, I still win.
It was an easy, fast break, and no one was near you.
You know what's fast? Boost Mobile's super fast network.
They're calling your shot the greatest miss in history.
Boost Mobile's prices are never a miss. I even get 4 lines for $25 per line per month.
Oh, look at that. The fans are burning your jersey.
Yep, the fans get it. My Boost Mobile network is en fuego.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get 4 lines for $25 per line per month with unlimited data and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones, all on our super reliable, super fast network. Step up with Boost Mobile. New customers only. Limited time offer while supplies last. Requires 1 port from eligible carrier and activation. 1 free device per line. Customers who use more than 35 gigabytes of data during a billing cycle will be deprioritized during times of network congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
First Take, Your Take, with Jason Fitz.
Remember, it's not that long ago the 76ers over-exceeded expectations in the playoffs, right? So suddenly it became they are the future and the future is now. Trust the process became this thing that works. Now they've hit a wall. And it's staggering to me to hear Embiid talk about he doesn't know if he's getting the ball. And Horford to say, we've got issues in the locker room, but we'll keep that private. Guess what? You just made them public.
1 to 2 weekday afternoons on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. This is Davis Allen from Sports Call with Davis and Justin. You're listening to the Sports Drive with Chad Brilliante on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
I've been working night and day. I'm gone berserk.
And welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Florida State, their first ever ACC regular season title in basketball. News Radio 92.3, our sister station, the home for Florida State basketball, and excited for that win right there. Some of the other headlines include, Coach Mike Jeffcoat here locally getting his 500th and 501st win of his career, setting a record right there at UWF. And how do you get out of a speeding ticket? Roll up the window and then write coronavirus and then just stare at the cop and shake your head. And I don't think anybody's going to ask you to roll your window down. I think that might be good at that point. You probably shouldn't be driving. I personally have not done that, but I just want to say, helping somebody out there today. Cops are like, why is he saying this? Joining us now, our good friend. He joins us each and every Monday, and always on a kind of, as Brent Baird of College Sports Notebook 1010 XL Radio. Thank you for the hand sanitizer, by the way. And now JP's sitting over here like he grabbed for the hand sanitizer. Brent Baird joins us. Brent, I hope everything's going well, and looking forward to a big week in college basketball.
Yeah, listen, this is a big week in general, frankly. It's the next couple of weeks are great time of year. Spring practice and football starting with a lot of schools. March Madness this week with the SEC and other tournaments coming up. So it is, Chad. It's really one of the better times of year in sports.
Well, it is, and the XFL. I got to say, if the XFL had better players, to me, it would be the. I really like some of the rules. The beer. You got the commissioner getting involved in the beer snake, and they actually reprimand somebody for making mistakes. But overall, the truth of the matter is, just like watching the SEC or watching teams right down the road like UAB and Louisiana Tech, good schools in Conference USA. The difference is one of them, you'll watch championship caliber players, and the other one you watch okay players. And that's what you're getting. You're getting practice squad guys from the NFL. That's the only difference. But the product itself, Brent, I watched that game last night with the Vipers in Tampa, and I've been enjoying the XFL so far.
They've done a pretty solid job. Now, I don't know if people would say it's appointment television yet, but I think as far as you mentioned them getting on to the officials and being pretty transparent about a play when they should have. I think they basically took the ball left and instead of finishing out the game. But look, that was. I mean, their officials came out with an actual. What, Chad? Would you say that was a real explanation, and then told what the punishment was for it? A lot of people thought that was almost rather refreshing.
Yeah, it was nice after a while, especially I think some Saints fans in this area feel the same way. But Brent, right now we got the tournament right around the corner. At this time next week, we'll be filling out brackets, and we've got a chance right now. When you look at the teams out there, I think one of the things we know is that Florida State, they don't have that one dominant player, but they've been very good this year across the board. And frankly, it's almost a breath of fresh air for Florida State fans to watch them play against teams like North Carolina and Duke and be the most athletic of the bunch. Do you think this team has a legit shot? I know one guy that's going to be rooting for him that put $1,800 at the beginning of the season on them when they had 100-1 odds, and now will get paid $180,000 if they win.
Wow, what an incredible payday when you think about that. Listen, I remember going to the Florida Baylor game and being able to cover it, and there was a basketball writer sitting next to me, and I asked him about the Baylor team, and he said, yeah, they've got a chance to be in the Final Four. And listen, Chad, without even batting an eye, and I didn't even bring it up, he said, and another team that's capable of being in the Final Four is Florida State. So I hope their fans are able to really understand and realize just how important this championship is for them. That's a mouthful that you said a moment ago, for them to be able to win the conference and frankly have a better bevy of talent than anybody else in the conference. We've ever dreamed of saying that years ago.
Yes, and right now, currently, they're a 2 seed. However, a lot has to do with the tournament, as Dayton they have as a 1 and Gonzaga as a 1. But you never know in the West Coast Conference when you got teams like BYU and St. Mary's. If Gonzaga's upset and they play San Fran tonight, then Florida could sneak in if they do well in the ACC to a 1 seed overall. Looking right now, Brent, Florida at this point, according to Joe Lunardi, they're in at number 9. They're a 9 seed. But I think there's still some work to be done to move their way up. Right now, the SEC's got about 5 or 6 teams that I think have underachieved in their mind. And when you look at Alabama, Arkansas with Eric Musselman, what he did at Nevada, you look at teams like even Georgia with Anthony Edwards. When you have the number 1 overall pick according to the NBA draft, you should be better than 15 and 16 and Tom Crean, who's been there before. But there's a lot of teams, even LSU, who started the season red hot, and they've lost 6 of their last 8. I look up and down the board. There's really not one dominant team in the SEC, but if any team gets in, they've got a legit shot to do something once they get in.
Agreed. And listen, I was really hoping that this was going to be a year where the league again would get 6 or 7 teams in. Unfortunately, Chad, that's just not going to happen. I mean, we know the Big Four with Florida, LSU, Kentucky, and Auburn, and give Kentucky a lot of credit how they've come on as of late. Now, you've still got a situation where now, if you go by the net, Arkansas is 47, Mississippi State is 50. I think you're seeing, according to Lunardi, that State probably has a better chance. And when you really look at what's going on within the conference with State, you've got and this could be a nightmare for Florida, frankly. Georgia's got Ole Miss. I think Georgia wins that game. And then Georgia plays Florida on Thursday. I think Florida will win. I think they're the better team, even though Georgia has one of the best players in the nation, as you mentioned. And then on Friday, if Florida beat Georgia, they were playing a very hungry Mississippi State, looking for a quadrant 1 win that they would get against Florida. And your point a minute ago was a good one, Chad. See what hurts Florida in that Kentucky loss is instead of them being ranked higher or seated higher, they're at 5th, I think, in a very precarious position. Now, are they a better team than Mississippi State? I think they are. But, listen, you know how Florida's been this year. Florida's an EKG in basketball, are they not? Where, for instance, to get behind Alabama and Georgia by 20-something points, coming back and winning, and then against a very good Kentucky team, Chad, I mean, they were up. It seemed like they got off the bus double digits ahead of Kentucky and found a way to lose that game at the end. They need Blackshear back, don't they, Chad? That wrist injury could be huge for them.
Yes, and the one thing with Florida, too, as we speak with Brent Baird of College Sports Notebook right here, you can follow him on Twitter at Brent Baird, Beaird, is once they get there, Florida always seems to make a pretty decent run in the tournament because they play good defense. They play solid defense, and so you get those top-tier seeds that have been good in the past, but maybe they're one of those kind of teams that holds their opponents to low scoring. There's really not one team out there that is dominant this year. There's a lot of okay teams, and, Kansas, Baylor, teams like Dayton, Florida State, they come to mind, Gonzaga, but none of those teams, if they go out there. I watched Michigan beat Gonzaga. I watched teams all across the country play with Florida State all season long, and I just look right now at Florida and say, they got a shot if they can get there, but it's all about getting there. Brent, looking right now as we flip over to college football, was college football, now NFL news, but Tua has been cleared of pretty much to do anything he wants to do. He can go out there. He can throw the football around. He's been cleared medically to go out and throw and be a full participant in coming up in pro days and what's going on. If you were advising him, which we're not because we'd make a lot more money than we do, but if we were, what would you say to Tua right now? Do you believe he should go out there, or should he really take it easy at this point? And do you believe that he will play in 2020, or do you believe that he's going to have to sit out, or not sit out, but the coaches will recommend that he sort of redshirts a year in the NFL?
Yeah, well, no, I think he'll play regardless. I just don't think you'll keep him not, because it's still a long time between now and when the season begins. I think they will soft pedal him, particularly during the exhibition season. See, the thing that makes him who he is that he is so accurate and that he's got such a touch on the deep ball. I think he could work out in a pro day and be fine. I still think that in a lot of ways he wishes he'd come back to school, and he would tell you that. But good for him that he's made that much progress. But look, I still think in just a show what you can do. They're not going to have him running tires or running around scrambling for a first down, or there'll be a lot of drills he will not do. But listen, I still think even a nearly immobile Tua with his arm strength and accuracy, that there'll be enough there to where he would wow some people to just being able to throw the ball around as he typically does.
Brent, and looking right now at college baseball, a lot of teams right now on the radar in the SEC. It's been a great season for them overall. But is there one team that you've looked at college baseball early on and feels more dominant?
I think Florida is as complete a team as we have seen in quite a while now. Look, they're going to get tested very quickly with they're number one. They play number 3 Georgia, so we'll know a whole lot more about both those teams at that point. But Jen, if I remember right, in the coaches poll that came out today, in the top 25, there are 10 SEC teams. Virtually half the teams from the SEC. Is there any other sport that you can come up with that has that kind of domination?
It's all the way across. Even Alabama this year is a really good team to start the season at one point, right there in the top 25. But looking at quarterback right now, when you talk about trying to figure out a quarterback, one thing we know is Alabama has plenty of them. But number 45, Drake May, flipped his commitment from the Crimson Tide to the Tar Heels. And that happened when we always talk every Monday. That was about last Thursday that happened. But he's a 6'4", 200-pounder, a 4-star kind of guy. Just talk about the decision. Now he's going to head and play for Coach Brown, or what we expect. I mean, you can flip at this point, it seems, like NFL free agency in the Wild Wild West.
I think that's as much about what Mac is doing at North Carolina as it is what Alabama's not doing. I mean, look, he looked at the Alabama depth chart, and he saw where Mac Jones has got 2 more years. Bryce Young's got a minimum of 3. Talia, Tua's brother. I mean, if he stays after the spring, he would have basically something similar. So I think that's as much of anything else But listen, Jones, I think Jones will be fine in Alabama. He may not even win the job, which is amazing, but still at the same time, that's a big get for North Carolina Drake May, who is the brother of the former North Carolina basketball player Luke May. So I give Mac Brown a lot of credit for that. They're going great guns in recruiting right now, which is amazing to think about. They have a Iowa kid goes from Florida State to North Carolina and is playing extremely well. So there'll be a lot of competition there. But listen, Chad, if it's just a mouthful here, but could North Carolina, listen, they're not going to beat Clemson. They're nowhere near Clemson. But listen, maybe in 2 years, with the way they're recruiting now, UNC could really be pushing for, the second or third best team in that conference.
I mean, I guess you could always flip a coin at this point. Who's the second best team in that conference? You know, I mean, really, who is it? Virginia got that claim last year, but that's not saying much. But I think Norvell will have. I think Norvell will have Florida State back on track. But I'm saying that. But we also sat here and had the confidence level at one point that it wasn't going to be as bad as the first year with Willie. I think Florida State, every fan, even though Mike Norvell is the real deal, I've watched him at Memphis over the years, as a UCF Knight, and watching them play. He's an extremely good coach, but I think we're all going to sit back and take this one like maybe a guy in his fifth marriage. Yeah. You might not rush into judgment on everything. You might say maybe it's not all those other ladies, it's me. If you're with your seventh or eighth woman and you're like, oh man, maybe I need to settle down. And I think every Florida State fan's going to sit back and they were treated to 30 years of greatness and dominance where it seemed like if you weren't going 10-2 or 11-1, it was a bad season. And then it wasn't just bad, it was awful with Willie Taggart. And at this point, I think everybody's going to kindly sort of approach it as, hey, you know what? If we take stepping stones in the right direction, 8-4, 9-3, 10-2, we'll take it because I think that's what you need to expect at this point.
Listen, they would sign a contract for 9-3 right now. Frankly, to me, it all comes down to the offensive line. If they can ever get that fixed, that's going to make a difference. I still think with Marty and Terry, who's put on nearly 20 pounds, and DJ Matthews, that they're going to be good. I think I think the Blackman kid is still a pretty good quarterback for them. And look, I'm with you. I like Norvell. I've got friends who covered him at Memphis, and they rave about him as far as what he's going to do for their offense and special teams. Got to get that defense fixed again, and I do think they will. I just think they will be better. I've still got more confidence in them right now than I did when Taggart was there. So I'm with you. I think we know where Florida is. They're going to challenge for championships at this point, and we're hoping for the sake of our state and what you and I cover that Florida State and Miami are going to take some steps forward this year.
Brent, always great stuff. Looking forward to doing it again next Monday, my friend. And sorry for Tim Tebow will not be on the Mets this year. I know back in Jacksonville, that's on the list of totem poles of what he's accomplished. Should be nothing more than for him to play baseball is incredible. Honestly, he's always going to be the guy that whatever he does, he has a shot to do. But frankly, I think it's best for his life right now if he's not on the Mets for everybody's sanity.
We've had that discussion here, and I know we need to go, but I agree with you about that totally. I think this is one of those things, Chad. He's at the point in his life, and he could do TV with SEC Nation the rest of his life with his reputation in the league. But whatever he's going to do, whether it's something in ministry or whether it's something expanding his I would say foundation and what he's got going there. Big year for him, and I would agree. He gave it a ride. Listen, Chad, how many people can say they were in an NFL playoff game and also had a stint in Major League Baseball in the minor leagues? He could retire from active competition now and still be thought of as one of the greats there's ever been.
Brett, great stuff. We'll talk to you again soon, my friend.
You too, brother. Take care.
All right, come back for more. It's a Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV.
Say goodnight to frozen folded eggs and barely there bacon, America, because Wendy's is now serving up breakfast, and it's going to be America's favorite. They just don't know it yet.
These are a few of my favorite things.
We're talking freshly cracked eggs, oven-cooked bacon. How did I even do mornings before this breakfast goodness? Come into Wendy's to try our new breakfast Baconator, the Frosty Chino, and the Honey Butter Chicken Biscuit. See you in the morning. You up for this?
Favorite things, yeah.
At participating Wendy's.
Bowling is a sport that will last you a lifetime, and at Cordova Lanes on Airport Boulevard, every night there is something exciting happening. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, it's penny a pin. Bowl 100, pay $1. Or how about starting your weekend off right by reserving a lane for just $25 at Moonlight Bowling. Enjoy a fresh-made pizza and the lowest pitcher prices in Pensacola. So what are you waiting for? It's time to roll your way into Cordova Lanes and experience fun like never before.
Hey y'all, it's tax season, and you know what that means. You can finally get that vehicle, and the place to go is Gordon Auto Wholesale on Palafox. Gordon Auto has been selling high-quality used vehicles for over 30 years in Pensacola, so you know they are a reputable place to go. Thoroughly inspect their inventory and are a certified Carfax dealer offering buy here, pay here. So if you have no credit or bankruptcy, no problem at Gordon Auto. Palafox, 2 blocks north of Airport. Call them today at 479-9200. That's 479-9200.
The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Say, hey now, baby. Oh, mama, don't play now, baby. Say, hey now, baby. So let's go on things straight now, baby. Tell me,
A lot to get to on this segment. Welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN.
Buckle up.
Buckle up.
No, really, buckle up.
Right? Yeah, How about the...
Better hurry.
I was going to say, largest beer snake, by the way. Do you know how many? 20,000 ounces was in that bear snake.
That's awesome.
What about the guy that didn't know? What if it was just all funneled down there and just... like the guy, like, chug. After a while, like, you don't want to embarrass people. And usually they have a nozzle on it. I don't think anybody had it with the cups, had, like, the nozzle that you stop it. But imagine that guy that got, like, the repercussions of, like, the first 10,000 ounces. You can't do this, man. One of the worst. Hey, look, the commissioner was part of it.
With the coronavirus going on, these people caution to the wind.
They don't care. That's part of the XFL motto, is we don't care.
We don't care.
We're not playing games. Tim Tebow among the first cuts, but he'll be okay. Well, everything will be okay. Talking about the, a lot to get to coming up here, as we'll talk more March Madness game going on right now. Hofstra, baby.
All right.
The Pride. Coming back for more right here. Hofstra Pride.
This is ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM and 99.1 FM, the only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo to the Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. Plus talk football with Coach K at noon, Sports Call every Saturday. If you'd like to partner with us as an advertiser or a promotional partner, just give us a call at 262-6000.
You're listening to ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. All sports, all the time. WEBY, Milton, Pensacola.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Exciting week in college basketball as we'll continue our conversation. Teams trying to punch their ticket to the dance. Big one right here, CAA Championship semifinals. Hofstra, Delaware. Them boys out there for Hofstra, they got them Pride going. It's Pride Week for them boys.
Has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher. It's across the middle, it is caught for the first. It's Baldwin shaking free and sprinting down the sideline for the touchdown. His third of the day.
Derek Brooks, who ran back 3 interceptions for touchdowns in the regular season, does it to cement the Super Bowl.
Boxing's elite, the new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
Both been beaten. The result has come up on screens that Gatlin's taken it. Goodness me, it was a blue American vest, 992 for Gatlin. 992 by the American champion to take gold.
Another Watson is wearing a green jacket at Augusta. And this time, his name is Bubba.
Scores on a 34-yard touchdown run by the Doak Walker Award winner, Trick Richardson, who broke a lot of Emmett Smith's records back in Pensacola, Florida.
All right, let the madness begin. It's been exciting this week, right?
Can I ask you?
Oh,
what was that a second ago?
No. You get to say that after that. Wofford. This is Wofford Hoops, right? That wasn't even Wofford. That was the other team. Eastern Tennessee. Did you see where that guy shot it from to start the game?
No, I did not.
He must have been watching LeBron. He just moon launched it from like 30, 40 feet. We don't have capabilities to rewind on that TV, but
can you explain this whole Pride thing?
Officer Pride. That's their nickname.
That's not what they say, though.
That's their thing. It's Pride Week for them boys. That's not their song.
What they say.
It's Pride Week for them boys. Hey, that's not their.
That's a different parade, my friend. It's a different parade. Wrong. That isn't. No.
You were teaching me that.
No, I was not. Not throwing that one on me.
They're playing the Delaware Blue Hens this week. That's what they did.
Coop.
Take out that Pride Week on them hens, baby. Come on, let's do it. That's not the song.
You don't come to the coop and come out alive.
Let's take it to the coop right here. We got pride. Take it to the coop. Come on, we got pride. Boys,
what's happened to this show?
That's exactly what they were singing. They're up by 12 at halftime right now.
That's not what they were singing.
Come on, Hofstra. Get it done. Wofford, by the way, clear Boston Terrier as a mascot. That's pretty cool. I know they're the Terriers, but this is...
They're done. Look, they're down by 4 already.
It's over. Steve Forbes, this is a pride of Northwest Florida. We traveled with them right there as they went over to Salina, Kansas. Did a game for them.
Whoa. Just threw the guy down.
We're not going to break down this. So there he is right there. That's him.
P. Cole, baby.
This is what the show is coming to now. There he is.
Yeah,
fifth season right there. He learned out of Wichita.
He's the man. It's on ESPN right now. Check it out.
All right, we're not going to break down this whole game, though. Oral Roberts in North Dakota State now, however. Looking at some of the things going on from the weekend, I feel like I need to turn this off or it's going to start the Coach Mike Jeffcoat, 500 win. I know that's a big win right there. You were part of how many of those victories would you say? No.
I got no credit for a win, my friend.
Either did I, so don't say much. It's now 12-8 on the year, 9-3 in the Gulf South Conference.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is it? You look at that 12-8. Just if you look at the overall, you're like, not very good. 9-3 in the GSE is tough. That's the SEC conference of Division II.
I gotta say, the XFL. I gotta get this. We're gonna preach right here.
Get on your pride.
No,
Pride Week.
No. That's the name of their team. Has nothing to do with me. Now you're just being rude. How dare you? Now the XFL though, I love so many things they do, but Mark Trestman is. What's wrong with that guy? I mean, what is wrong? No more breaking this down. You're about to say something again live. People on radio, this is not doing justice for him. We'll give a score update for everybody sitting the edge of their seat.
No.
The 10 people gambling on this game between East Tennessee State and Wofford.
Guard just
Ray's listening right now. You're
the Wofford guard just shot a 3 in the corner. It literally didn't even hit the backboard. It hit the bar.
So we are talking
holding
about this.
up the goal. Like, it was so bad. Yes, we are. I'm good now. Okay, moving on.
Stroke. Now that you got me into this game, now you got me turned around, and now I'm watching this. They
11-2.
They're 4 for 4 from the court right now. Steve Forbes, baby, get it done. Forbes millionaire.
Let's just go live stream
making
this game
money.
Right
Forbes. Here. That's what he sings. He's like, I don't sing that either.
All these songs coming.
All these songs right here. So Mark Trestman's an idiot, and I mean seriously, how do you get a job? Did anyone watch that game last night? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
How do you get a job when your team you can get a 3-point conversion?
Just straight up said Mark Trestman's an idiot.
Yeah, he
is. Just came back with
he
that.
Is. I hope he's and I very rarely. I know one time some of my comments, which about 70% can be outlandish at times on people,
right.
But this one's not. I hope he's driving through I-10, which he's not because he just was in Los Angeles yesterday. But maybe they had to take a stop. Who knows? Somebody in the plane didn't put hand sanitizer on, and they had to fly into Pensacola or Valparaiso, and they're listening wherever they are today. Mark, if you're listening, how did you get a job in coaching? I don't understand how he makes the worst decisions, and it's not even ones that are like, it's okay. It's like, oh, it's 4th and 1 at the midfield right here. This is a tough decision. They probably should punt, but he has a lot of confidence in their quarterback. No, these are like no-brainers, and he continues to go the other way. So in the case there, you can get a 2-point conversion or a 3-point conversion. So at this point, you're still down 1 score. There's 4 minutes left in the game, and they're down 9 points. So they still are 1 score away, according to, getting the touchdown, the 3 points. So instead, on 2nd down and 3, he runs the ball twice, and on 4th and inches, He sends in the the field goal unit for like a 26-yard chip shot. And you go, worst case scenario here. And he did it immediately, too, because they're all mic'd up. And he's like, field goal. And everybody, even the players, did you see the Cornelius and all these guys? Now, sometimes we're not going to go, we'll call it pulling a McGloin, if anyone knows. Like, that's just calling out your team, being like, I hate these play calls. Everybody stinks. I don't like anybody on this team. But that's a little different when you're 5 of 13 with 35 yards and 2 picks. Like, you did nothing to help your team. But Cornelius is marching him right down the field, gets him in a situation.
The Big C.
That's not his nickname.
They call
not
him.
At all.
That's what somebody calls him.
Yeah, it's
the Big C, baby.
El Turnover Ton right there.
Taylor.
The Big T, maybe, for turnover after losing that game. The Big L. Taylor Cornelius had a shot. They're 1-4, by the way. He doesn't get nicknames. They're in dead last. They're not playing well.
He threw for 300 yards. Give him a break.
That was part of it, though. He was moving the football, moving the chains. They took the ball out of his hands. Jacquez Patrick from Florida State is one of the bright spots. Last week, he actually scored a touchdown in the game where his dad passed. And it wasn't one of these that, he was battling cancer or anything that he saw coming. It was just a sad story. And his dad, he had to bury his dad, and he went out there and scored 2 touchdowns. And it was a heartwarming moment. Well, Patrick was off to another great start. He was the catalyst. And, then he gets hurt, and they went downhill. But the call, and then they had other opportunities, and Mark Trestman continued. I look at the guy. There's sometimes I don't like to call out, sometimes I'm thinking, Will Muschamp I have, but we all have, if you watch Florida Gator football, about how a guy can just go right back to, they just scored 9 points in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, it's tied up at 11. It was 11-2 like a minute ago.
It was 11-2 literally a minute ago, yeah. 11-11. 11-11 right
Woof, woof.
11-11, and 11 is the one that scored the last 11. Look at that right there. So, you had a guy. Thank you. Get in on that pride way. Come on. Hofstra.
Don't come to the coop, baby.
Don't come to the hospital.
The hospital.
the Hofstra. Is that what they call themselves?
No, you don't come to the coop at Delaware State and come out alive.
Don't they call it the caboose? That's not the name of that. That's the.
Hold on. I'll
Hofstra.
look this up.
Come on over to the caboose. All right, so I don't know how he has a job. I don't know how Mark Trestman has a job.
No, I agree. It's the players even are kind of like, what is going on here? Like Jerry
He's
Glanville,
not sure what he's doing out there.
There's a lot of good coaches in the XFL. I will say that. A lot of experience and things like that, like guys getting an opportunity. But then you have like a guy like Mark Trestman that just waters it down. And the team for the Vipers is actually not bad. Taylor Cornelius, you came in this year thinking Aaron Murray was going to be the guy. Taylor Cornelius steps in. He has to. And it's like, who is this guy again? Like, once again, like you were talking about, it's one that you Google. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know. Thought this was a made-up guy here. Aaron Murray's gone. Taylor Cornelius doing a good job, marching the ball down the field. All the questionable. Look, the score was 41-34. Like, they were in this ball game. And you wonder that if you had somebody else coaching there, what this could have been. I go back to when you look at Dallas right now. What a surprise the Renegades are. I understand Landry Jones is injured, but, hand model Philip Nelson comes in there. But regardless, the Guardians put 30 points on them. The Guardians, who have Luis Perez, a quarterback who's the Division II star, good quarterback for them, but they're not supposed to score 30. They haven't scored 30. That's just when the XFL, if anything that we have learned in the XFL, it is that any of these teams can win a game. Unorthodox. Cardell Jones, DC Defenders, gets benched. DC wins. The St. Louis Battlehawks look like the hottest team outside of the Roughnecks. Well, the Battlehawks, they only put up 6 points because DC plays plays tremendous defense. That's the thing every week with this XFL. We have no idea what we're going to get.
850-623-1330 is the number. Cash it or smash it.
Smash it.
It's not how this game works.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're the guy that hits the buzzer before the question's answered.
Yes, mine works.
There you go. Liberty Flames are now in. They're in the tournament again, back-to-back years.
Okay.
They're one of the teams. No, them, Bradley, home of the Braves. Couple teams punched their ticket. Utah State, how about that? They couldn't hold an 18-point lead for somebody with 3 minutes left in the game.
Playing the Broncos.
3-team parlay. But they can go out there and they can beat San Diego State in the Mountain West. Mountain West, by the way, if you want an early upset, San Diego State will probably get a 2. And they're not playing good basketball right now. They started off hot, but This is not their best basketball. I think, I hope they'll beat a 15, but I can't see them going that far in the tournament. They want to prove, like Gonzaga is one of those teams that's sort of an underdog story that can. San Diego State's been struggling the last couple weeks. Utah State's not a bad team, but they punched a ticket and took a bubble spot. Utah State took a bubble spot because, according to Joe Lunardi, they were one of the first 4 teams out. So now it looks like at this point they're taking one of those spots from somebody that might have had it. East Tennessee State's a team, too, to watch out for if they can beat Wofford, which in tournament time is never an easy thing to say. So we'll see as we keep an eye on this game. It's an exciting game right now, 13-11, 15 minutes in. Looking, though, here it is, though. Cash it or smash it. When Liberty plays in the tournament, it's already a bad look to have anybody in medical stuff based on what's been going on with the coronavirus, but wheeling Hugh Freeze's medical bed to the sidelines for their first-round matchup.
Yes.
Cash it?
I guess.
I think he's been healthy for a while now, right?
Yeah, I
Correct.
think so.
Okay. But just making that a thing.
Just put him back in there.
Put him out
He's
there.
like, I'm perfectly fine.
Morphine bag and everything. Get in the bed as part of it.
Get in the bed.
They have to, wherever they're playing, Dayton, wherever it is, they have to cut a hole in the wall to get him in. Just wheel him out there.
A random wall.
Be
There's
pumped.
a door right here.
There it is.
No, I want a hole right here. He needs to come through. Okay. By the way, can I make this note? I just looking this up. 2004.
No, you cannot transition away from Hugh Freeze's medical
was
bed
the
right
Flying Dutchman. They used to be the Flying Dutchman,
and they changed it to the Pride. Okay, the Flying Dutchman to the Pride,
Flying
right there.
Dutchman, baby.
That's a fly. You know that they're. When did they change the name, by the way?
2004.
See, they changed their name clearly before people judge. Like, remember when Hawaii was the Rainbow Warriors, and now they can't? They could just be the Warriors.
Yep.
But before, everyone's like, oh, the Rainbow Warriors. Like, nobody said that back in 2004.
Yep.
When they went with the Pride, everybody was like, yeah, Pride, baby. Got pride in your team. We got pride in my school. And now, when you think of Hotspur Pride, like I said, them boys got that pride. You started to laugh for some reason. I don't even know what you're talking about. But, see, sometimes it gets to the point.
Flying Dutchman in my book.
Charlie Pride. I know Gene Stallings, big fan. Everybody down at Pensacola Beach for like a whole weekend was like wearing Charlie Pride shirts. I saw like an 8,000 Pride Week shirts. Charlie Pride.
You still have your Charlie Pride underwear.
Listen, I don't have any of those, but I will say though that Kalijah, there it is. A lot of fans. Charlie Pride. I do have to say though that March Madness is my favorite time overall. Like my favorite individual game, as you said, lacrosse. But then after that, we love what we see. That was your words.
I don't remember me saying all these.
But
things.
then at this, I do like lacrosse. By the way,
it is. Yeah, I couldn't play it, but
in a stereotypical way, if you had to say what teams are in the lacrosse championship without looking at the standings, I'm going to go Q's versus Virginia.
I would say St. John's
versus
would
Duke.
Be in there. Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's I always remember.
That's all I see.
It's
one
of those four teams that seem to be it.
It's like if you weren't watching any of the Frozen Four,
I'm gonna look at
and you went with Minnesota Duluth.
Yes.
If you went with Boston,
Denver,
there's like always the same.
I was watching Denver the other night.
Those teams that always, no matter what it is, they always make a run. You always see. That's like Division III football when you have Grand Rapids and then you have Mount St. Mary's,
Grand Valley State.
It's always the same. Whitewater, Wisconsin Whitewater. It's always the same exact teams. And someone's like, "That's rude, man." Be like, "Did they make it though?" Well, yeah, but that's not the point.
So Syracuse is number 1 in lacrosse rankings.
That's a thing.
Cornell and Princeton are 2 and 3.
Wasn't that one
North
of mine?
Carolina?
Wasn't
yeah.
it? Mine was Q's versus Virginia, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Where's Virginia on there?
Virginia is 9.
Ooh, they're slumping right now.
They are.
Where's Duke and where'd you go again?
Duke is 8, and then I said St. John's. I don't even see St. John's. What happened to them?
Wow.
Oh, they're receiving votes. That's it.
Right.
Get them out of here.
Yeah. Well,
give me Army. Army's lacrosse.
Army
15th
lacrosse
in the nation.
Now that's a group of people I would not want to play.
With sticks? They know some bad things to do. Well, jeez.
Yeah, that's not.
Wow. How about Cornell and Princeton right there? 2 and 3 though. That's awesome. Oh, and Yale. The Ivy League just taking over the top 10.
They do play a lot of lacrosse. I don't know where.
Don't call them if you want football.
Looking at some of the other things going on right now, Dak Prescott. Having a chance to worth close to $105 million worth of guaranteed cash, $33 million a year. It's a historic contract if he took it. You know, who does?
Do it.
Okay. Well, I will. I'm in this mode. We're in a little bit of it. We're in salty. This is salt. You know. We should get that. What's salt? Saltgrass, the steakhouse that sponsored this, all salty. Morton's to sponsor this.
Saltgrass, salty
They're
moment
being
of the day.
salty again. Listen, who do you think you are? We're going to go down this path. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Give me the
real one.
Boston.
The real one. Okay.
Give me the Boston.
No, I'm not. You can't say it and then I do it, but I will give you who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're going to come over here and you get offered like $105 million and you're going to walk over here and you think you're wicked awesome? You're going to walk over here and think you are the man. Oh, Mr. Bozo here coming in here. You haven't even been to the playoffs. And you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me? Congratulations for beating the Redskins. You haven't beaten anybody. They had the worst conference. That was the worst division in the history of the NFL. I mean, that's sad to say. And this is coming from somebody that's watched the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills in the same division for over 2 decades.
The Bills saved you.
They did. They've been finally playing some good football. A couple years ago, remember the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills. Horrendous. And this was worse. Washington and New York were 2-win teams. And then on the other side, you had, am I shorting you a win, by the way? Did I short them a win? I'm not sure. Are they 13-3? Who cares? At 2-2 and 14. We're going with that. One of them. At that point, you know, that Week 17 win that nobody really counts because they're resting everybody. And then you had the Philadelphia Eagles, who really, once they lost a lot of their starters and Boston Scott and the whole entire wide receiving core was bad and they're all hurt, was not a good team. I mean, just ask the playoffs. It was pretty much like they were just out there going through the motions.
Greg Ward Jr. is not an elite wide receiver?
I don't know. Now that you're making that point, I guess I have to say absolutely not.
Okay.
But Ortega-Whiteside, though, man, anytime you go with that double name from California, big receiver. Does everybody in California, is that a law? You have to have 2 names? That's a lot.
Not touching anything in California.
That's Northern California. What would be your double name with your parents?
Jeffrey Donald? I don't know. I don't.
The last thing, you don't know your mom's maiden name?
Or maiden name? Yeah.
Well, that's where you go with.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that. Is that his mom's maiden name?
That's what because parents in California they just want to keep their same name.
I never really paid attention
that's what
to that.
They do. That's exactly what they do. They end up they have both their names and they end up
Okay.
Mine would not really fit, but it would be Chad McCabe Brillante. That'd be a lot of different ethnicity.
So mine would be Jeffrey Melvin Price.
McCabe Brillante right there.
All right. Well, there we go.
There we go.
That's another reason
it is.
Don't like California.
That is, listen. If
fair
you
enough.
did, I personally like California. California's cool. I just don't like all the laws. But I will say though, it's the most beautiful. I mean, from just a straight geographical standpoint, that we don't need to go down this path. If you can wake up on a houseboat to a bunch of seals and a humpback whale coming to your backyard, mic drop right there.
A humpback whale?
Humpback whales come right up to you, right up there.
They're to eat the seals.
No, they don't eat the seals. They sing to you when you sit there in the back, yeah.
How much were you drinking during this trip
this
on
is
the house? How much of this story is true?
This was one of those virtual reality
Drinking
Oculus.
absinthe.
No, it was Oculus, the virtual reality, and it said California. Welcome to California on it.
Okay,
you know.
I thought you were drinking some absinthe or something going on.
Not that day. But I will have to say though, the LA Rams new logo.
Or is it the Chargers?
I don't know. That's actually a good trivia question. And you can't ask. This isn't like Jimmy Kimmel on the streets. This would be, you actually have to ask the people, if we showed them this logo, do you believe it's the Chargers or the Rams? Immediately, I thought Chargers.
I did too.
It's the Rams.
It's the Rams.
And you could do so much with this. You could do so much. I mean, ask any hunter in this area what you could do with a bighorn sheep. Oh. And this thing could go crazy, man.
Well, it's actually a genius move with the Rams, though, because, see, the Chargers are going to announce their new stuff coming out. It's going to be the same thing. So they can save a little money. They don't have to create a different brand here. And, look, I mean, when you go to the L.A. games, boom. You're either a Charger fan if they're at home or the Rams. You don't have to go buy 2 different styles. Same jersey. Let's just do everything the same. Let's call it L.A. Don't give them the Rams. Don't give them the Chargers. Just L.A.
Well, no. I mean, if it's from that standpoint, what a great business move right there. Because, like, fans of the fans right there of a team like the L.A. Rams or they think or the L.A. Chargers think they're buying their gear. but it's clearly.
How many Chargers fans? There is no Chargers fan. There's not a real thing, is it?
Well, there was.
No,
people have gotten fired.
Their home games, they're not home games anymore. So I was wondering, did they get rid of the fans? Are there any fans? Is that what this is part of here? They're all
somewhat.
Everybody went to the Rams now.
There's fans back in San Diego.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying. The San Diego ones, but
San Diegans.
San Diegans?
San Dieguans, yeah.
We just changed it. San Dieguans?
It means a whales. No, I think honestly, though, you could say though that the logo. It was leaked, by the way. I don't know what. Okay, yay.
Oh no.
Your logo of a helmet. Half the time.
Oh no.
These jerseys today, nobody has any clue what these people are wearing. Sports has got to the point, not only are we changing jerseys, in the NBA, I think everybody has, about 17 different court combinations?
Yeah.
Like, when I'm finally, Utah Jazz are the worst. Utah, I'm like, go back to the old school, like the city and all that. And I'm like, oh, this is great. Or the old purple, which the New Orleans is like, give us back. But the old purple and yellow and green and, the cool old Jazz. And then the next day it's orange. You're like, what is happening here? The Magic when they went pumpkins in the middle of December.
Genius.
No,
just
it's
genius.
not. Go back pins. They're the best uniforms in sports. Those pinstripe ones. Con artists, right? When we come back, we're going to get to some more on what's going on in March Madness. Right now, Wofford with a 1-point lead over East Tennessee State. We're also going to get to more on what's going on right now in the XFL and more on the NFL now that it looks like the Tom Brady sweepstakes is down to maybe just 2. It's all coming back right here. Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola and Blab TV.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
From First Take to your radio.
Zion? 16 games. Okay, how many games do they have left? About 20? 22 games? All right, so he ain't gonna even reach 40 games. Damn it, I mean, this first year in the NBA, which he's getting paid for, it's like a college season to do. Give a damn about no back-to-back. You're 19 years old. 19 years old. All right, figure it out.
1 to 2 weekday afternoons on ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Here are the ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM contest rules. You can win one prize per household per contest in any 30-day period, unless specified by individual contest rules. All prizes are non-transferable, non-redeemable for cash, or exchangeable for any other contest prize. Prizes must be redeemed within a 30-day period of winning and must be 18 years of age or older to win. For a complete list of rules, visit ESPNpensacola.com.
For 30 years, Thomas Home Corporation has proudly helped families build their ultimate dream home. If you're looking to customize your home, we are currently building throughout Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties, and we can either build your home in one of our subdivisions or even on your own lot. Our team works with you to guide you through each step and decision in the process. Builder of the 2019 American Dream Home and Builder of the Year, Thomas Homes Corporation has built quality homes at an affordable price since 1990. Begin the process today and become one of our proud homeowners at thomashomescorp.com.
His football career started as a quarterback at Pensacola High. It culminated as the coach of the Buffalo Bills. Now, Coach K. Stevenson talks football every day at noon on Talk Football with Coach K.
Kareem Hunt got pulled over last week for speeding.
This guy's been in trouble over and over and over again. Now, if they get him out of this, he will get in trouble again.
Noon to 1, weekdays on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. We do sports, and that's all we do. We're your hometown sports station. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
So you just got the news that you took somebody's seat? Is that?
I did.
Yeah, you did. That is the worst, by the way, when you clearly like row S or row R, but it's not marked on the side. Like some of the older stadiums, and it's marked on like you're walking up the stairwell, and you think you're clearly in row S, but you're not. And someone's like, "You're in my seat." You're like, "Dude, remember, we're up in S and R. I'm not trying to take your. We're not in A and B here. I'm not trying to take your spot." But it ends up being one of those situations where you're clearly in their seat and you argue it, and then you realize you're wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. It happens once in a while. And then you show them your media badge and you go, "Bow! I'm just going to take a seat 5 feet in front of you, man." And they're like, still taking someone's seat. I
just wanted my son to have his seat.
That's Richie's seat, by the way. Don't sit there either. Dang it. Looking at one of the things we talked about in the NFL right now is 18-game season. I'm for it, but not to the point of, here's the deal with it. I'm for it from a greed standpoint, our NFL tailgate show, but out of the game itself, they don't need it. It's fine. Everything that's going on is fine. I mean, the season itself, the NFL is fine. Like, there's some products that aren't working. Like, the NFL is working right now. It is working tremendously. I know people talking about the protests and other things. They're still making more money than ever. The revenue share was bigger than ever last year. And it's okay. If you're one of those people that says, "I don't watch the NFL anymore," that's fine. I respect your decisions. A lot of people are in the South. We're always in college football country. But no, what? I mean, that is exactly what I say, actually. But I do have to say, though, if it comes down to the NFL in 18 games, I would rather have the 16 better games, because one thing I will admit is that Thursday night football is complete garbage.
Yes.
And it's because they're not on a long rest. The product itself, they wheel through, and you don't get the same thing. You don't know. It doesn't got to get out of there. I still like having a Thursday to watch the NFL, but I'm just saying the game itself, the product is
Maction night?
Huh. That's where Bill Hancock will be. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I'm going to get you that shirt that says Maction on it. Barstool Sports sells them. $15. We'll wear them every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Maction, baby.
Maction's all about the Hancock? He is their guy.
Well, I don't know. I haven't heard Dick Pound make his comment on this.
that's wrong sport. Now you're just off topic here. Drew Brees, by the way, shaving his head for charity. Good job right there. Who would be that person you would love to see in sports, in any sport, or coach, player, whatever, that if you could shave their head for money? Don't say me. That's not worth it. I mean, I'm talking somebody like, I have shaved my head before.
Mike Gundy.
Ooh, that would be fun. Just based on the mullet, yeah.
But imagine the hair and you can donate that hair.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of hair right there.
I would have to say, you think about somebody that's, what a terrible call, by the way. These refs don't let them play. I just try to make a basketball move in this.
Vegas doesn't let them play.
So I would say, out of everybody that shaved their head, Joakim Noah maybe? Anderson Varejao. I don't even know if he's in the NBA anymore. But that old fro, get it out of here.
Get it out of here.
Get it out of here right there. I think that wouldn't be bad. Maybe Clay Matthews. No, I don't care about that, really. He would just look like just a tougher dude at that point.
Be a guy that's in the limelight. It's known for their hair.
I got it because of his age. and all that going. Nick Saban. Shaved, completely
goodness.
shaved.
Yikes.
I've never.
You're being cursed right now.
No, that's it. No, it's not being cursed.
No, you're being cursed. People are listening to that. How dare you?
No, that's okay. Why? He can still spray his Just for Men on the top. Go with a different color. Oh, he clearly does. Don't act like look, I'm 35 and I got dark hair. 35, I'm starting to go gray. I got grays coming up. No, he's not conning. 67, you're not conning people into it. It's okay. Go a little salt and pepper, whatever he needs to do. But shave it. I would like to see Nick say Roger Goodell just to see him have to do it.
That'd get violent. Players would be like,
but his is not planned. It's done overnight. Like, we're here in his house. He doesn't know where. Wake up the kids.
Stick his finger in warm water.
We've given him 6 different shots of ZzzQuil, and he doesn't know it. He just thought he was drinking cherry juice with his friends, a bottle of wine. All of a sudden, now this has become. Now we've drugged the commissioner. Now this path is horrible. Now we've broken into the commissioner's house and drugged him. So this is not going to be part of it. What we'll say is that it would be funny though to watch him shave his head. That would be cool.
Would be.
And it'd be cool to put him on the spot too. Be like, hey, Roger. That's how I guess every broadcast and media outlet says, what's up, Roger? Like, do you have a question, sir? How did you get in here? Yeah, ESPN Pensacola. Chad, what's happening? So, Mr. Goodell, Drew Brees shaved his head for charity. Are you saying by not shaving your head that you don't believe in charitable acts? Perfect.
Got him.
Drew Brees said he would love to, if you could just do one on behalf of everybody for blowing that call and not having any repercussions for the Rams.
It's the least you could do.
It's the least you could do right now. Shave your head. Get a chant going. He's like, wait a second. What's happening?
Have a couple.
This is a CBA. What?
Have a couple sick people right there and be like, come on, man. Are you serious? You're really not going to do this?
We look up. That's not what
I knew. I was wondering if you were going to take the bait.
Breaking news here, though. Cleveland Browns have announced that out of the abundance of caution with the coronavirus, they will not be playing in the playoffs this year. Out of the fear, it says even after the virus is cured, just to be safe, the Cleveland Browns said they will not be in the playoffs. They're just helping. They're letting their fans know that for the safety reasons and precautions, Dr. Baker Mayfield's home will not be a site for the playoffs this year. I think that's fair.
Well, a couple things wrong with that. One, the Browns being in the playoffs, or even
that's what they're saying.
Anyway.
It's
right.
They're starting.
It's not going to happen anyway, regardless, even with the coronavirus, and if it never was a thing. Two, it's Dr. Owner Baker Mayfield. Please, if you're going to approach him in that manner, you need to approach him with the right verbiage. So, Dr. Owner, Chad, he's not only a doctor, he is the owner of the Cleveland Browns, because I guarantee you he's the one that made that statement.
This is what I have to say about the coronavirus, and we'll move on. It's serious. Things are happening. We got hand sanitizer on this table right now. Use a ton of it. Take the precautionary measures more than ever.
Please, if you cough, please cover your cough.
But from a standpoint of me, I don't fret. I'm not going to sit here and worry about things that I can't control. I can't do anything. All you can do is exactly what you're doing on your everyday basis. Now, if your everyday basis is licking poles on a subway, then yes, you need to change your mentality because you will probably get that. But if you're just living your everyday life, wash your hands, be safe, do those kind of things. But don't, if you're sitting there in your house afraid to do anything, then it's one already. So come on,
Did you see that? I believe it was Tito's Vodka came out with a statement saying you cannot.
And I probably saw it. Yeah.
You cannot. No, you were.
Yeah, okay.
You didn't see it after a while.
It's getting a little blurry. I tried to read it. Why can't I read the bottle?
That you
Quit
cannot
drinking the product.
That washing your hands with their product is not good enough to prevent the coronavirus because it's 40% alcohol. You need 60% alcohol. They made that statement.
That could get you beat up too. No, that could get you beat up. If I'm watching someone, if I watch somebody in public pouring out vodka all over their hands, whoa. You're going to waste this on your hands. Give me that. What are you doing? What, you grab it out of their hands? Just ruin like 15 martinis, bro. That's fighting words right there. Whole day of Bloody Marys.
They had to make a statement. It's just like, think about how rich, just to use, you know what? We're out of soap. Go get the Tito's vodka.
Pouring vodka from Tito's on your hands may stop the coronavirus, but it'll get you punched in the eye by someone seeing it. It'll lead to more black eyes. What are you doing? Wasting my... Don't need to go that path. XFL at this point, though, do you feel overall, where's the rating? Where's the JPO meter here?
Well, I was going to stick with our A to F rating. I was thinking of a B+.
Yeah.
Although I will say this, I will go to a B this week. I will drop down.
You think because the XFL rated X? No, we'll just go with A through F. Then let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
It's
can
safe.
Can I give it an M?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to drop down to a B because the Houston, not Houston, Dallas, with Landry Jones being out, Philip Nelson, he's got to get out of here. I mean, look, it's a guy like Taylor Cornelius for Tampa coming in, doing a good job. That's awesome. Philip Nelson is awful. That's all I'm going to say.
He is.
And to be on a team like
I never heard of him.
Stoops,
I had never heard of this
Big
guy.
Game Bob. He's. I can't imagine how furious.
There's a lot
he
of quarterbacks that we Google and you found out. Like you brought up Luis Perez, played at Texas A&M Commerce, who played UWF in the national title a couple years back in Kansas City. But there's a lot of these guys that we know. I mean, we all knew who before Landry Jones was. P.J. Walker, most people knew. Oh, I did. He played at Temple. But watching Josh Johnson, he'd been that journeyman that got the call. He was playing video games. He played, by the way, Josh Johnson, how he got ready to be on the Washington Redskins, he had Madden football, and he played with each and every one of the players to recognize who he was about to walk onto that. Hey, good way, though.
Tell me these games don't matter.
Yeah. You know, but that could be misleading results. Where you're like, bro, you had like a 95 speed on that game. You can't even run a crossing route for me. Be like, dude, I've got a bad hip. Be like, it's not what it says on Madden right now. I asked Madden, it said throwing over the middle to you was a good idea. Catch the football, bro. Be like, what leads to a fight? Guys like, you're a lot better on Madden. How dare you come after me? Jordan Reed on his 12th concussion. This game's an exciting basketball game, by the way. By the way, if you look right now at the XFL, though, where would you rank it? Where are you going to put it there?
I'll give it a B.
A B?
I mean, it's just solely because when you look at the Renegade situation right now, when you take that quarterback away, which it's already tough to find those good quarterbacks, Cardale Jones has been bad. You know, having to start another guy there when you it's not as what we thought. The play's fun. I will say this. A game ending on a Sunday, that late game, the Wildcats and the Vipers, 41-34, that's what the league needed. I mean, you see teams play defense, but everybody wants the offense. And for them to do that, that's awesome, especially to end the week. On teams that, once again, I go back to it. If the XFL's shown you anything, it's that anybody can win any week. This is a live radio show. You do know that, right?
This guy got the ball in the paint. He didn't even know what to do. He wasn't being guarded, and he didn't know what to do. That was funny. I just thought that was funny. He wasn't. All Wofford does is shoot from like 30 feet. So the big guy got it wide open by himself in the lane. And one of the Wofford is just, if you watch them beat Kentucky last year and how they played, all it is guys chucking it from like 28 feet. So the big dad gets it in the middle.
I don't know if he's a dad.
Well, he clearly doesn't get many opportunities at the line. So he gets it in the, and he was by himself under the hoop. And he looked around like, why'd I get the ball? And the guy from the free, all the way from the charity strike, ran over and mauled the guy before he got to the. It was just like, I've never seen a guy so shocked that he could have just laid the ball in underneath the hoop. But moving on from that, when we come back, we're going to talk some more. Florida State first ever ACC regular season title. Tim Tebow will be parting waves with spring training and the New York Mets. It's all right. And we'll also talk about the big moves going on locally as the Cox Diamond Invitational, great week, and Autism Awareness Night, great night over at the Bay Center. It's all coming back right here on the Sports Drive.
First Take, Your Take with Jason Fitz.
Remember, it's not that long ago the 76ers over-exceeded expectations in the playoffs, right? So suddenly it became they are the future and the future is now. Trust the process became this thing that works. Now they've hit a wall. And it's staggering to me to hear Embiid talk about he doesn't know if he's getting the ball. And Horford to say, we've got issues in the locker room, but we'll keep that private. Guess what? You just made them public.
1 to 2 weekday afternoons on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Just felt there's a huge need in Pensacola to bring foot and ankle services, specifically orthopedic foot and ankle services, to this area. There's so much growth in Pensacola. I wanted a freestanding orthopedic foot and ankle center to do this, and as far as I can tell, this is the only one really in the country that's freestanding. Most orthopedic surgeons are part of a multi-specialty group. So we offer on-site x-rays, on-site CT scan, and on-site MRI. They can come to one place.
Visit NielsenOrthopedics.com to reserve your appointment today.
ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Pensacola's home to hometown sports, covering the biggest high school games. UWF football, catching every game of the Pensacola Blue Wahoos. Plus, local sports commentary with the Sports Drive with Chad Brillante. And weekend sports talk with Davis Allen and Justin Patrick on the Sports Call. We are local. We are ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
Jackson Pace Pharmacy has exciting news for ED patients. Viagra 100 milligram generic is finally here. Get it today. 30 tablets for $80, less than $3 a pill. You heard right. Viagra 100 milligram generic is less than $3 a tablet. A prescription from your doctor is required, so stop by Jackson Pace Pharmacy and cash in on the savings today. 2256 West 9 Mile Road in Pensacola.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
So I'm having this debate with a landlord.
I said, no pets. Can't rent you the apartment.
My dog is not a pet. Look, I'm legally blind. I need my guide dog.
Sorry, those are the rules.
Rules that allow for housing discrimination? So I made a call to HUD. Turns out, landlords must make reasonable accommodations for assistance animals.
If you think you've been discriminated against, call HUD at 1-800-669-9777 or go to HUD.gov/fair housing.
Fair housing is your right. Use it.
A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
You can watch Chad on the Sports Drive live right now on our YouTube channel at ESPN Pensacola 1330.
Hey Panini, don't you be a meanie. Thought you wanted me to go, why you tryna keep me teeny? It's a dreamy, wished it on a genie. I got fans finally, ain't you wanting them to see me? I thought you want this for my life. Said you wanted to see me thrive. You lied, just said.
And welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Well, right now at halftime in the Southern Championship game, East Tennessee State and Wofford in battle. Wofford became one of those fan favorites. There's always the team that makes it. Wofford, Kentucky fans are like, no, they're not. But Wofford last year, you had, Valparaiso was that team way back in the day. I think we all have to say Loyola Chicago, Sister Jean. It's not my love. No, she's like 90. She's not. But Loyola Chicago. Then you had.
You say it like that.
That's a song. You've heard of Billie Jean, okay?
No, anytime that you there's.
I have to make that clear. So
there's
somebody's
certain
like,
words though.
You don't say that about a nun. You have to be
New England accent.
You can't when you're talking about
Chicago.
a nun. You're singing a song by Michael Jackson about a nun. First off, that's already awful. And but
continue.
Sister Jean. There's our guy, by the way. Northwest Florida State, right there. Pride Niceville, Steve Forbes. That's a very presidential suit.
You told me that.
That's a presidential suit going on right there.
You told me Niceville, we don't associate ourselves with those people.
Should we tell Tasca? App State's down 15 at halftime.
I think you just
I don't
did.
think she's in here anymore. Tasca and Kevin are big App State fans. And that is not a good score. I don't think basketball is on the I think on the list it goes football. It's all right. They'll be good. They're good at a lot of sports. Looking at some of the other things going on right now, more than just reading scores from college basketball. The XFL week overall, New York Guardians beat the Instagram models out there in the Dallas Renegades. LA Wildcats and Tampa Bay Vipers. By the way, we're on a tear right now inside the XFL. Winston Moss, the emotional Winston Moss. Do you think he could beat a polygraph? I think he could.
Yes.
Winston. Is this your stuff? Are these your goods in the house? No. Winston, we saw you take your car, unload it, and put it on your table. We have eyewitnesses. No. He got us.
All right.
He's clear. He's one of those kind of guys you don't. He looks like the kind of guy you don't cross. Like in the locker room, when you mess up on a play, we all had that coach. Who was that coach for you? Nobody's going to know their names. Well, actually, you're local. Nobody knows ours. So,
I'll be honest with you, Coach Jeffcoat at UWF, and he is an awesome guy when you tell you what he does in the community and things. But inside that locker room, he is in that practice. If anybody that's played for him, he's the real deal. Like, he's not a guy you want to make mad. He's a guy that he comes at you. He starts off with that calm demeanor, just get you close. And if you make that mistake again, you're going to wish you never made that mistake. It's just, he's that guy that's that quiet, I guess, controlled, crazy almost. Fantastic, awesome coach and everything. And when you get done, you got chewed out, but you're kind of like, I don't know what to say. Okay, I'm just going to go over here and sit in the corner. Just that way, but he does it in the right way. I mean, he's not screaming, hollering, cussing, anything like that, but it's just the way he uses his words. It's almost like you don't know what happened when you got done, but you realize that you just got chewed out.
Yeah, we had that offensive coordinator at high school, Octavius Sabersword. That was his name, too.
Well,
he was nasty.
There you go.
He was a nasty dude, just based on his name. You had to call him Mr. Sabersword, too. Oh, wait, and that was his last name. But this guy was nasty.
With a last name like that.
How do you say it? Hey, Coach Sabersword. He would come at you. He didn't actually own a sword,
Octavius
Sabersword. But I will tell you, though, he was the kind of guy that I wish I actually said – you could see me being the one that has to run extra for saying these kind of things. But he was spitting in my face, not on purpose. But, Brilliante. They used to call me, actually, Bones. Chicken Wing and Bones Malone. But Chicken Wing, they go.
Bones Malone.
Yeah, was it? Bones Malone. He goes, you need to go do so. He goes, you're always doing that. And they're like spitting up stuff. And I was like, dude, can I get a visor? And I said that like while I was saying it. He was like, what did you say? And
oh, jeez.
That wasn't a good move right there. Not a good move. Coach Octavius. That was not
Old
a good
Sabersword.
Old Sabersword.
Get him out of here. By the way, I just searched that name.
Octavius Sabersword?
First thing that popped up was Assassins.
That's what I'm saying. That might be the same guy.
Oh, jeez.
That's what he looked like he did on that. When I told him I need to get a visor, that he's spitting in my face, I think that moment I thought there was going to be, we were done.
You were done.
Now I know what a guy, when he went to prison, and then there was the, oh, never mind. We stay away. He had a float. He had a float in New Orleans. No. Okay, so looking at some of the things, though, when we're talking about the, if you're looking at March Madness, do you have a criteria? And don't just say the lower seeds, but what is your criteria to picking the perfect bracket?
First things first, I look at how a team
fill out Thursday's games on Friday. I've done that before. I still miss one too. That's very.
And for the teams that you do know that you pay attention or you've seen throughout the year, I look at like a Dayton. I don't know if a Dayton can. How far can they make it? Can they make it to the Final Four? Things like that.
Because Obi Tobin is fun to watch. Though.
He is, but
is he
going to
do that against Is he going to do that against a center for a 7-1 guy for Florida
State? Somebody
else
that can man-to-man him or things like that. A team that can take him away. Because if you take him away, well, there's their catalyst.
Florida State creates. They have a machine that creates 7'2" guys from overseas. Like. It really does
every year. St. Mary's, they send a boat over there.
From us, that's rude. No, they have planes nowadays. But you
can't get on the planes. The coronavirus.
I think Florida State does have a record for how many years straight have they had an over 7'2" guy. That this year the guy plays outside on the perimeter too. He's like scary. He's lengthy. He's like Daddy Longleg Spider out there
from half court.
Bojan Bojanowski, and they also had the big guy last year, Kwame. You know exactly what I'm talking. Kawajo or Kamaji. Kamaji. They had Kamaji and
watching your process.
Bojanowski at the same. They were both 7'4". It's 2-7, and then they bring Kabagali in, and all he would do is he would just hit you like a fullback and score every single play. Think about how many players that Florida State has lost in the last couple seasons to be potentially a number 1 seed. Think about that. Bacon, Beasley, Jonathan Isaac. All these guys could still be on the team right now. Not to say they are.
7'1".
That's the guy. That's the guy. And he plays on the perimeter. What does he weigh, like 180 pounds?
It's 260. That's because he's so tall, though. What about Olszynczak, I can't even say his last name. He said, I didn't know he was 7 foot though. Dominic?
Yes.
Yeah, Dominic. Yeah. Transfer from, or no, he's not. He is transfer from Drake.
They have had to set the record. I'm basing this on no facts, but they have to set the record.
And Poland.
They've had to set the record for most 7-foot players. Florida State always has 2 or 3 of them. Always.
Yeah, well, you got a 7-foot guy out there covering you on the perimeter. Good luck. Especially if he's any kind of athletic.
So that's what. So if you have Obi Toppin trying to, he's not going to just be able to.
No,
it's
he's
all
going to
about
be shut
matchups.
down.
College basketball is all about matchups. It really is.
That's my thing. Is how when you look at a team, and like that's why I think a Kentucky could be good. They could go deep. I know they've had their games often. Even you look like a Kansas. Yeah, I know Kansas is highly ranked, of course, number 1. But that's when you look at teams like that. Is it one guy? Or there are multiple guys out there. And when you look at Kentucky, I like Kentucky a lot because it's multiple guys. There's guys that can get hot at any time. It's not the one guy. No, I'm not saying they're hot. Like the comments you made me. Yeah, the Pride Week, baby. But that's the other thing. That's the reason I like Kansas, and I know that's they're number 1, of course. But I think they're so deep. I mean, it's just the depth of their roster. That's going to be the difference because you're going to be playing a lot of games. And a guy like Obi Toppin, fantastic, fun to watch, no doubt. Probably the funnest guy to watch. But what's going to happen when they get matched up? I want to see where they get matched up because if they get the right bracket, they could actually find their way to the Final Four. But I just don't see it happening.
I didn't even have a cocktail this week, and I'll tell you right now, I don't know how I'll let you do the justice on this. Look who's under favorites right now at my top of the scoreboard, top left.
Wow.
Canisius and Iona has become my hot hand right there. That's the favorites over there. We do like Canisius, but Iona Gales.
Look out.
What if they played St. Mary's in an all-Gales matchup?
Can you have that game in Australia?
Can you have a lady named Gail at least sing the national anthem?
Yeah, in Australia.
No, not at all. When we come back, that's not part of it at all. That's not a good idea. Coming back for more Sports Drive, ESPN Pensacola, Blab TV. Come on, Gail.
JP here. Well, we're at the halfway point in the XFL season, and we have learned that hand models don't seem to be good quarterbacks. Shout out to the Dallas Renegades. The face of the XFL, P.J. Walker, and the Houston Roughnecks can't be stopped, starting the season 5-0. And Oliver Luck joining in the DC Defenders Beer Snake. Pretty awesome. From all the top interviews to the recap of the past week's games and the predictions to the week ahead, we got it here on Inside the XFL. Join Coach K, Chad Brillante, and myself every Monday and Friday at 12:30, right after Talk Football with Coach K.
Bowling is a sport that will last you a lifetime, and at Cordova Lanes on Airport Boulevard, every night there is something exciting happening. Like on Tuesday and Thursday, it's penny a pin. Bowl $100, pay $1. Or how about starting your weekend off right by reserving a lane for just $25 at Moonlight Bowling. Enjoy a fresh-made pizza and the lowest pitcher prices in Pensacola. So what are you waiting for? It's time to roll your way into Cordova Lanes and experience fun like never before.
Hear ye, hear ye. I bringeth thee a message from... a message from the king and his new trumpeter, Stephen. The king wishes me to convey his favor to thine team and thine tailgate. Not yet. He invites thee to let the Bud Light flow forth. And he also wishes me to tell thee that he toasts thee. Waiteth until the end, Stephen! With game day's favorite light lager and the slogan of his kingdom... Oh, dilly dilly.
Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here are the ESPN Pensacola 1330 AM 99.1 FM contest rules. You can win one prize per household per contest in any 30-day period, unless specified by individual contest rules. All prizes are non-transferable, non-redeemable for cash, or exchangeable for any other contest prize. Prizes must be redeemed within a 30-day period of winning and must be 18 years of age or older to win. For a complete list of rules, visit ESPNpensacola.com.
The latest sports news is at ESPNpensacola.com and on Facebook at ESPN Pensacola. Plus, watch Chad Brillante, Coach K, and Sports Call live on our exclusive YouTube channel, ESPN Pensacola 1330. This is Northwest Florida's all sports, all the time station. From Destin to New Orleans, sports fans come here for ESPN and local sports talk. ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. The teams, the games, the fans, the local talk. This is ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM.
papa was a copper and the mama was a hippie. In Alabama, she was swinging a hammer. Price you gotta pay when you break the panorama. She never knew that there was anything more than gold. What in the world does your company take me for? Black bandana, sweet Louisiana.
And welcome back, Sports Drive on ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM, 99.1 FM. Do you think the kids know Red Hot Chili Peppers? They should. I mean, there's some bands that would tell you to turn your mic on if you're going to.
Probably.
All right. So out of this, by the way, would you by the way, the winner of the graffiti bridge, of the names on the graffiti, everybody is down there. Don't stand in the road, by the way. It's not worth it.
Natural selection, baby.
Yeah, so, well, yeah. Look, at least I got half my name on there. Got the ch. And that's what it sounded like when you got hit. But no Truckee wins this week. That was good. No Truckee, like right there with the picture of it. I like that. I thought that was a good one.
I was hoping yours would get picked. Congratulations.
By the way, actually, I was thinking of getting one of those KFC tacos, fried chicken taco shells. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah.
Why don't we just do that and spray the graffiti bridge? Free presents.
Might as well get the donut. The 2 donuts with the
just
chicken?
Makes me think about it. Would you combine peanut butter, bacon, and jelly? I'd try that.
Maybe.
Like a maple spoke. Does it sound
I'm not
better?
Big maple though.
Well, you're already going peanut butter and jelly. I'd do that. I don't think that's out of the norm.
No, I wouldn't say it's out of the norm.
All right. How about a
what happened here this last segment?
I was about to go down that path, but I have a whole list of them, but I'm not going to get it. We only have a few minutes left to give sports updates here.
Seconds left.
Currently, right now, we got a number of games going on, and nothing too big tonight. St. Mary's and BYU. Who do you got?
St. Mary's. How's the Pride?
I stopped watching Hofstra.
Told
right
you.
now, Hofstra currently with an 8-point lead over the Fighting Joe Flacco's of Delaware.
You don't come to the coop and come
Blue
out alive.
Hens. No. Come on, Pride. You can do it. Golden Tate, by the way, played baseball. That's how we're going to end today's show.
Tom Brady
hey,
played catcher.
Appreciate it. He did. Montreal Expos. Should have snagged him north of the border.
This is ESPN Pensacola, 1330 AM and 99.1 FM. The only local station that talks sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From Gullick and Wingo